Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jackie.
I'm Ethan.
And welcome to Plan Well to Live Well, where we're your licensed advisors. All things that we discuss are as it relates to insurance, retirement planning, and real estate. And today's show, we're going to be talking about all things real estate with your licensed advisor, Ethan. So welcome to the show today.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we appreciate everybody logging into our show today. Jackie and I will be our special guests. We don't have any special guests on the show today, but we will be talking about a special topic today. It's real estate, all things real estate. I'm a licensed realtor in Pennsylvania, and we'll try to share with you folks and everybody a little bit about what's happening today. So, Jackie, I mean, let's talk a little bit about what's actually happening that you're seeing. I'm an advisor, you're an advisor, but let's just kind of break it down to what are regular people seeing, like, talking to your family and friends. What are you noticing out there?
Well, my daughter and son-in-law just recently purchased a home, and for first-time home buyers, they had concerns about interest rates. They had concerns of qualifying for, if they did qualify for any first-time home buyer programs. They also had concerns about which price point could they shop for a home in their pre-approval, because they were concerned that, okay, with the interest rate rising, how much house could they afford? So those were the things that were top of mind or at conversations at our dinner table. They did end up purchasing a home, that their first-time home that is going to be, looks like their lifetime home. They're very happy. They were able to get a price point that they could afford. So that was a good thing for them. But I'm just curious to see what others are saying out there in the industry.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as a realtor, I'm kind of seeing a lot of the same things you're seeing. There's been some major shift change in the last few years with the interest rates going up. I mean, I recall myself personally, we'll show you everybody some history about rates, and we'll share a video about rates as well, and real estate. But just me personally, I bought my home 15 years ago at about 8-9%, which I thought was high. My parents were laughing at me at the time, saying, well, when we bought our first house, can I say 30 years ago? I don't know. It's like we were paying 17%. So your 9% is a laugh.
It's nothing.
But then I remember, so this was 15 years ago, and then I refinanced my home maybe 4 or 5 years ago. The rates were at 4.5%. And then I refinanced my home 2 years ago at 2.5%. And boy, let me tell you something, the last 2 years to today, I think the rates went up 300%. So we'll share some of those videos, and your daughter's concerns and your concerns and what you're saying. I mean, these are all valid things, and it's slightly changed the market a little bit. So we're going to share with you a little bit about the mortgage history. So let's take a look at the mortgage rates history. So let's take a look at this history here. So back in 1975, which is the year that I was born, rates were about 10%, and you can see that sometime in the mid 80s, beginning 80s, somewhere maybe around 1982, rates shot up all the way to 17%. Oh my goodness. And then you can see this steadily went down. I think my parents probably bought their first house probably somewhere in the 80s. So I could see that. I kind of remember that maybe when I was 10, 11 years old. I can kind of see that here possibly. They bought it right around here when they were laughing at me. They were paying about 10, 12%. And then, I purchased my home, sometime around here as well. So you can see the rates were basically for the last 40 years, right? Look, 1980 to 2020, the last 40 years, rates have been basically shrinking, okay? And now this is where they were here, and look at where they are now. So they're saying the average interest rate now is about 6.4%. Wow, that's unbelievable. So that's the history of interest rates, and it's interesting to see where they are today. Certainly, they are not as high as they used to be. So, but it is a shock. I think it's a shock in the market. People are shocked to see the interest rates, right, Jackie?
They are shocked, and because you're so used to that 2% and so much advertising was around it, and the market was buzzing. So now to go to 6%, it's like, whoa, the shock of the spike.
Even so, like I said, I'm going around telling people that yes, the rates are up, but you're expecting such a low, 2.5% is not a real number. I mean, that's the number that we had, and you're expecting that. That is not the realistic number. And certainly the 6% shock is a shock. But we do have an interesting video also to share, a third-party video. This was Yahoo Finance. We found that video on YouTube that we want to share with everybody. And we think it plays a role. It's a third-party video. You can always find that video on YouTube yourself. So
there you go. Enjoy.
Like us, subscribe, and follow us on our channel, Plan Well to Live Well, Facebook, Instagram, and don't forget to turn on your notifications.
Yeah, there is one more data point that I want to touch on, and that already came out this morning, and it has to do with mortgage rates. They're moving higher again, and applications have really slumped. Overall demand has now fallen to a 28-year low for mortgage applications. So that is obviously quite significant that we're seeing here as we look at some of the housing data that we've been watching, Brad. And we have started to see mortgage rates, the 30-year fixed, you can see it increased to 6.7%. So it's not at 7 again, but it is going back towards 7% again.
That's just kind of unbelievable. I mean, everybody's talking about it. Yahoo Finance is talking about many different other finance people are talking about it. Certainly, it's affecting all across the board. And you talk about applications. You might have heard them, talk about, first-time home buyers. There's something on YouTube that was also put out on by NBC News on March 14 about first-time home buyers made up the smallest buying population as a percentage. And ultimately, because of the rising prices and the high interest rates, unfortunately, the first-time home buyers are being squeezed out. These are the young generation. I know your daughter kind of was, first-time home buyer, right, Jackie?
Yep, first-time home buyer. And luckily, she has a spouse, and they were able to come together with both their incomes. If she was just using her income alone, I don't think that she would have been able to make that purchase.
Yeah. Yes. So a lot of things are happening. We have some more information to kind of share with you. We're out of the Pennsylvania, Philadelphia region, but we have guests and viewers from all over the country, and Virginia and California, and we might have some guests coming on our show from Florida. And again, so wherever you're listening to us and watching us, you have your own local trends. But there's a presentation here that will give you a chart. So let's take a look at this chart. Bring you folks some more information about the health of the real estate market. So, Jackie, what else do we have for our guests for today?
I thought it was interesting where you showed the chart of the trends. So it's the type of housing. That report talked about condominiums being something of interest. So folks may not be looking at the single family home and maybe considering downsizing, or either there's a lifestyle change. So that I would be curious to see how the trends as we enter into second and third quarter. What does the housing market trend look like if more folks are leaning toward the luxury condo or that condo style living versus a single family home or a townhome living? So those are the things I'm interested in seeing. Hi, I'm Jackie from Plan Well to Live Well. We want you to like, subscribe, and follow us on the channel, Plan Well to Live Well. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and turn on those notifications so you can get all the things Plan Well to Live Well.
It seems that, we didn't share some of these other data points that we can show so much data, but it does appear that, homes over $600,000 are not really moving. I think partly to do with the interest rates being, 3 times higher than they were 3 years ago. But yeah, it does look like some condos, some condominiums, I guess they're priced a little lower, and they provide some, one interesting part about condominiums, depending on the condominiums, you sometimes have gyms, and sometimes you have pools, and the roof and the common area. A lot of the stuff is included in there, and if it's priced correctly, it would appear that condominiums in the $300,000 to $400,000 range seem to be doing good. I mean, it's moving up, and we're talking about the Philadelphia general area, but here in Pennsylvania, we're really close to the Montgomery County, Bucks County, and Chester, and there's so many different counties that kind of have their own trends. We just happen to have shown you all the Philadelphia County trends, but if you're interested in to know more trends about your specific area as it relates to Pennsylvania, at least, your county, please send us a message in our YouTube show. You can go to our YouTube show and you can click on calendar link, and you can send us messages, and we can talk about your specific county or township as it relates to you. Thank you everybody for joining us today on our show, and please go to our YouTube channel, Plan Well to Live Well. Click on the calendar link in the description to book a free consultation with Jackie and myself, insurance, retirement, real estate. Also, if you want to be a featured guest, we always welcome some guests. Sponsors and advertisers, also go to our YouTube channel, Plan Well to Live Well. Click on the link below, and click on the link in the show and schedule a meeting with us to discuss it. As always, like us, subscribe, and follow us on our YouTube channel, Plan Well to Live Well, Facebook and Instagram, and turn on your notifications.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining us today as we talk all things real estate, and we look forward to chatting with you again and as your licensed advisors. So as always, we want you to plan well and live well. Hey, great show.